Praise God, folks. This is Old Truth speaking with some more news from the political world, both the Democratic and presidential and Republican presidential candidates. And we'll start off with Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont and Hillary Clinton. Now, Bernie Sanders has been the object of a smear campaign. Now, the same super PAC that backs Hillary Clinton calls him a communist sympathizer, as Clinton and her allies sling mud. Why, you ask? I'll tell you. The polls show that Sanders is taking the lead among New Hampshire and Iowa voters. Now, attacks on Bernie Sanders by rival Democrats are likely to turn increasingly to his record on the economy and foreign affairs, and according to a new dossier seen by The Guardian that accuses him of sympathizing with communists and not believing in capitalism. But that's what this whole thing is about, Miss Clinton. That's what this whole thing is about. You are connected with Wall Street. You are a liar. Let's talk about Benghazi. Let's talk about your emails. You may have most of these so-called black pastors that are leading the African American community, or a large part of them, to vote for you. But I know who you are. I read, okay? You're not going to fool all of us. There's an old saying, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. I research, I read, Miss Clinton. You're a liar. You're a dangerous individual. You've caused more destruction in the black race than Ronald Reagan and both Bushes have. You stood in 100% agreement with your husband Bill Clinton when he passed laws that locked up more African Americans and Hispanic than both the Republican Party presidents did. Ronald Reagan or... I'm sorry, I start to go off. I can't stand a liar and a snake. A furious war of words between Hillary Clinton and Sanders has erupted in recent days as the polls show that he's taking the lead. You know, what's so sad about this is most things you hear out of Hillary is a lie. She attacked Bernie Sanders' record. You know, and Bernie Sanders was right. He accused Hillary. He charged her with, you know, look at what you're saying about this. And let me tell you this. They have never seen a political election, a presidential election like this. The Republicans are breaking the number one rule. Never attack another Republican. Look at it. And they attack not only... I'm jumping from Bernie Sanders to Donald Trump. The number one Republican magazine, the National Review, had a scathing attack on Donald Trump and there's 22 prominent Republican thinkers, and they all had essays against Donald Trump, that he is unfit and that they should renounce his presidential bid for the presidency of the United States. Now, I find that remarkable, and so Fox and a lot of other news sources have said that they have never witnessed it. The Republicans are outright spending millions to defame Donald Trump, when all Donald Trump is doing is telling you the truth. They're saying that Donald Trump is unfit. They're also calling him a liar, morally corrupt. They're calling him a hypocrite when they're hypocrites. Did you see? I was surprised that Fox News said that. But did you see what they're saying? There has never been a presidential election like this one. Why? Because people, the American people, are waking up. Not only in large part, but it's social media is actually coming out and telling people the truth. The Republican Party and the Democrats are owned by the same people. And you've seen all the specials that was on TV, and we were shocked when we were all watching. I'm not going to call any names. Some very important and knowledgeable people were watching the different documentaries that they're just releasing all over international TV. And said that you have to understand, when they're backed by these super PACs, they come in and tell these people what laws that they want them to pass for them, to lobby for them, shall I say. And they also said, which were, we were shocked to hear that. I've said it before, and I've said it again, most politicians are as full of crap as a constipated elephant. They actually said America is being turned into an allegory. I'm sorry, allegory. Tongue-tied. You understand what I mean? A country run by the elite. Sorry for the mispronunciation of the tongue-tied. And it is. It's a country where the middle class is actually disappearing at a rapid rate. They literally hate Donald Trump as well as Ted Cruz. They said Donald Trump is not a conservative and he does not stand for conservative values. Did you hear? I'm not going to call it. Did you hear what one of these clowns said? They want us to go back to working longer hours for less pay. Do you know that the top Republican, the House Speaker, gets like $225,000 a year? And their health care is paid for? What we should be all sign a petition that take 15% of their pay and let them pay for their own health care like everybody else. Lead by example. They're hypocrites and phonies. In the documentary, it also said they single-handedly went over to the Middle East and started, shall we say, an unrest started a civil war in the entire Middle East. They just erupted. The people that they've sent money to create terrorists, to take down their government officials, those are the same people that are killing Americans now, that they're pushing the violent, a lot of them are violent refugees into our country. And this has been said by other Muslims. We were all shocked, but it's the truth. See, this is backed by big business and special interest groups. Ron Paul said if American people knew why their children were going to war, they would, well, never mind. You have to understand, the politicians that you're dealing with are not the 1930s and not the 1940s politicians or the 1950s. These cats could care less about you or your children or your family. They're liars and thieves, and they're in the pockets of big business and special interest groups. What does it say about the Rothschild? I care not what puppet they put on the throne of Britain as long as I control the economy. And he did. It's the same thing here. The elite, the Federal Reserve, the people that own it, the big banks, the central banks own everything. Out there dying in wars. It's not right to go into another person's war, send children in, our children, black or white or whatever, to die in wars for special interest groups and big business. I don't care who they are. You should not go into other people's country and murder the inhabitants and send our young in there. If somebody attack America, our allies, that's one thing. But just to go over there and do what you did in the Middle East, you cause tens of thousands of people to get killed. Innocent people. Soldiers, and over 800,000 soldiers have come back that can't even get health care. That's a fact. So I give my hat off. Like I said, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an American. I'm not telling you who to vote for. But I'm telling you this. As it was said today on that documentary, the America that you know is gone. It's slipping away. And if we're not careful about who we're voting for and putting that in the White House, it will be gone forever. And it's a fact that we're going to be in a major military confrontation. You have over 92 million Americans that are unemployed. But the government always play with statistics so that you don't hear that. These clowns are dangerous that we're voting for and putting in the White House. They're about as godless as that refrigerator over there. I'm sorry, that's an insult to the refrigerator, because the refrigerator keeps food closed or cold. Can you imagine Hillary Clinton attacking somebody? Bernie Sanders of all things, really? She's part of the problem. She stood in 100% agreement when her husband signed the NAFTA trade agreement. He didn't create it, but he stood in complete agreement with it, and so did Hillary Clinton. That's why you have tens of thousands and millions of people unemployed now, and they're still taking business overseas. With all the Walmarts that are closing down, and the millions of people that have done thousands, over 10,000 people are being unemployed right here in America, are you for real? This is occurring now. These clowns are dangerous. They're greedy. They're appalling. A liar and a snake in the grass. So be careful who you vote for and keep America in prayer, because we're losing our country. And no telling who the heck you got coming into this country now. Because all these refugees coming in here are not decent and innocent little people. Just be careful and pray. God bless. Because we really need it.